We're in the Rotterdam office of Progress, and I'm speaking to Yogesh Gupta, CEO of Progress. Welcome, Yogesh.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
This year we saw a lot of things happening within Progress. New acquisitions, a new CTO. Could you tell us something about the strategy for the upcoming year?
Sure. So, yeah, we have had a very busy year so far. We've made 2 acquisitions. As you said, we have a new CTO as well as some other members of the leadership team. It all starts with having a strategy, and our strategy is relatively straightforward. See, we are a software company that builds software for other developers. So we're a software company by developers for developers. In fact, we are the largest software company where the number one vertical, where the number one customer base is other software companies. And so what it is about is providing them with the solutions that will help them with their future needs. And so all these software companies are looking for new ways of interacting with people, so better user experiences. They are looking for leveraging the cloud in a more effective way. They are looking for applying intelligence to all of the data that is being gathered. And so we have put together a strategy that we called cognitive apps, which is cognitive applications, which means that applying smarts, applying intelligence to data to make business applications smart. And our entire strategy is around building a platform that helps our customers and partners be successful in building cognitive apps.
Okay. And speaking of which, you acquired Data RPM in April this year. Mm-hmm. This is a specialist in cognitive maintenance. Could you explain the reasons for the acquisition, and will you focus more on AI and stuff like that?
Yes, manufacturing is one area where there's so much data that is being collected. So this whole Internet of Things, IoT, is about collecting data from machines, and the question is, what do you do with the data? So humans can try to analyze it, but that doesn't work because the amount of data is too much, it's too complex, it comes too fast. So you need software to analyze the data and come up with insights. And so we see predictive maintenance, which is applying cognitive solutions to predictive maintenance, as the one initial market where there's tremendous opportunity. Progress has many, many software partners who have built manufacturing ERP solutions using Progress software. And they are asking for cognitive predictive maintenance solutions to build their next generation. So yes, we are in AI, we're doing a lot of different things in AI, but we're not doing everything in AI. AI can be, I want to recognize people's faces, I want to build autonomous cars, right. I want to do consumer stuff. We don't do that. We are primarily helping business application companies build cognitive business applications.
Yeah. The other acquisition that you did this year was the backend as a service specialist, Kinvey. Mm-hmm. Could you elaborate on that one as well, perhaps?
Yes. So the Kinvey acquisition is all about cloud. So the Kinvey acquisition is, how do you enable great user experiences? Today, everybody wants to have a wonderful experience with their mobile device. They want to have a great experience wherever they are. To support that, you need a tremendously scalable, robust, reliable, high-performant cloud backend. Kinvey is that cloud backend today. Today, for example, in Kinvey's cloud, we support over 100 million unique users every month. We support 10 billion API calls to the cloud every month in a very secure, high-performant way. Everything from field service applications to an application that an insurance company uses for its customers. Everything has to touch back in the cloud. That cloud platform is Kinvey. So Kinvey allows us to take our front-end tools, connect them with a cloud platform, and connect it to back-end data stuff that we also have. So it is the platform in the middle to build cloud applications.
Okay. Last year when we were at the Progress Europe conference in Noordwijk, we spoke to your VP engineering, and he mentioned 3 key areas for innovations. One was user experience, the second was cloud, and the third was analytics. Are the acquisitions that we just talked about part of this strategy, probably it is. And can we see more of product acquisitions or product development?
So they actually are part of the strategy and they extend the strategy. So the user experience part, of course, is really the acquisition of Telerik, which we did 2 years ago, which brought us things like Kendo UI, DevCraft, NativeScript. That's the primary driver for user experience. And by the way, in that area, we are doing some very interesting work. NativeScript today has become the #1 JavaScript framework. It also is now being used for doing things like augmented reality. So there's a project, open source project called Argon, to make augmented reality, AR user interfaces and user experiences. So that's from the Telerik acquisition. The Convey acquisition is primarily focused on the cloud, as I said. So those two are right there. Analytics can be thought of as analytics that are people-driven or analytics that is automated and in the machine. And so this is where we have extended the strategy and said, no, we don't want to just do analytics like people have historically done analytics, where people ask questions and people have to answer those questions by looking at data themselves. We actually have done data RPM acquisition, which is predictive analytics, which is take data and automatically come up with future predictions, automatically come up with insights. And so predictive analytics is a really important way forward for any cognitive application.
Okay. Earlier this year, I think it was in April, you appointed a new CTO, Dmitry Cherevic. Could you tell us something about his role and the focus on new technology?
Yeah. So Dmitry is a serial entrepreneur. He has started multiple companies, successful companies. He also has worked at large companies, and his role at Progress is to drive our technology strategy. We have technologies that we build in-house. We come out with new releases of our products all the time. We have technologies that we acquire. We've done 2 acquisitions already this year. So somebody needs to make sure that our technology strategy is consistent, that these pieces fit together well. Because we are not just selling separate technologies. We're trying to offer a complete solution that allows somebody that wants to build a modern business application that delivers the best experience, that has the cloud backend, and has cognitive capabilities to be able to do so in the easiest way possible. And so Dmitry's charter is to make sure that we deliver that. And he has therefore Progress Labs, where we do innovative new work. He also drives overall technology strategy. He also works with all the other engineering teams to make sure product integration is done well. Because it is good to have the pieces, but until you integrate them into one whole, then the pieces are not as useful. And so he's got all 3 of those things as his charter.
You have a background in technology as well. So what do you think are the technological trends that you can see?
So I think the technological trends that you see are actually
software engineering.
Yeah. The technology trends are actually very sort of, everybody's seeing them today, even though they don't always realize how deep they go. So we all use our phones to do our work. We all use our devices wherever we are to get everything done. What does that mean? That means we now expect user experience that is like a consumer from our business solutions wherever we are. That means it has to be automatically cloud enabled. That means it has to be instantaneous response. There used to be a time when you could sit at your terminal or at your desk and you type something in and you waited for a response. If it took a few seconds, it was okay. Now on the phone, if you touch something and the app doesn't instantly come back, you touch it again, after 2 or 3 seconds, you throw it away. You go, okay, I'm not using this app. So the responsiveness, the performance, the security of the front-end app back-ended by a very strong cloud platform, those are 2 big trends. The third big trend is there's more data being generated than we have ever thought of before. In fact, every year more data gets generated than it was generated in the last 10 years. Think of that. That's just huge. And so what that means is that analysis of that data has to become through AI, through intelligence, through machine learning. And I think that the future of all applications is going to be cognitive. And so therefore we say businesses not only have to be thinking of mobile first and cloud first, but they have to be thinking of cognitive first. And so to us, that is the single most important trend that is taking place.
You talked about the very demanding for business users. What do you think about the trend of citizen developers? You have a product that sustains that, role-based.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that is a trend as well?
I think there is a certain trend for citizen developer. I think that is a much smaller market than the overall business application market, because after all, in general, when you look at business applications, they are sold to even those folks that don't do development, right? So if company right here in the Netherlands, FunMile, right? So FunMile basically comes up with and builds the premier world-leading application software for construction companies, commercial construction. The user of that is not a citizen developer. The user of that is a construction manager, is a person who's giving a quote to somebody, who is making sure that people come on time, making sure that the material gets delivered, so the building gets completed, that bills get paid, those kind of things. So the market for general purpose development tools is much, much bigger than citizen development. Yes, there is a trend for citizen development, but I think it is not as big as the overall trend for smart business applications.
Wrapping up a bit, is there something you would like to add?
I think, to me, if today somebody is building a new business application, I think they have to think cognitive first. I think that is a very important thing. Applications of tomorrow will be smart. And to be competitive, your application has to be smart.
Okay. Thank you very much, Yogesh, for the interview.
Thank you, Verna, for the time.